guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Lene and I hope you're well, and if you are not, I hope you're well soon. You may hear some noises in the background. Apologies for that, but just letting you know ahead of time. So, we'll get right into the message today. So, when I was waking up this morning, or when I was kind of still in bed, you know that thing that happens when you're like laying and then your body just kind of like twitches? And it feels like you're falling for a second, but you're not actually falling. Well, that happened to me. And then I had this strange, like, moment of almost, like, focus and, like, clarity when that happened. And it made me think about a lot of the stuff that's actually happening right now, in my own life and just in the energetic realm right now, in terms of there being almost this, like, little glitch in, like, oh, in perspective, like, oh, I just noticed something that's going on, and it's almost like just things that maybe you've noticed for a long time, or you've been noticing, but then you keep being like, oh, well, maybe I'm seeing it wrong. Maybe this isn't what I thought it was. Maybe the things I'm picking up on aren't actually accurate to reality, to what's actually happening. But no, this is saying that actually you are finding that clarity and that focus right now about these things that you've kind of been teetering between. Am I seeing this clearly? Am I not? Am I making this up in my head? Blah, blah, but you're not. So where I've noticed it the most is in relationship dynamics between people. So familial, romantic, platonic, whatever scenario, but relational dynamics especially. There is almost this theme of picking up on unhealthy dynamics in a new, profound way. And not only picking up on it, but finally having the confidence in yourself to assert a boundary, to speak truth about it, and to bring change to a situation that you are in, to a dynamic that you are a part of, or to speak up about something that you notice in a dynamic right in front of you that is occurring, to bring truth and clarity to a situation almost immediately. But the thing is, too, is I think you may be noticing patience. That these things cannot be fixed with one conversation. Or by just telling people the truth, it doesn't mean that they're going to take on that truth and do something with it. So it's almost you have to acknowledge that either the change in dynamics come with time, or people may not listen to you. And that sucks, right? But when people are not changing, even when truth is brought upon them, even when it is offered to them, you have to remember that that could be an indication to you that maybe there is really nothing you can do, and that you can step back and keep your own boundaries while these people figure out their own ish, their own stuff. So you may have a familial dynamic or relational dynamic, I don't know, where you're being asked to really assert yourself, tell it like it is, but also acknowledge, not only acknowledging the dynamic that someone else is perpetuating that may not be healthy, but how you have a part in it too, because part of these things, you don't want to just be accusing people of, oh, you're doing this and that and this and that, and then meanwhile you're also doing something that's not the healthiest. You have to acknowledge it so that you can have your part played in it in a healthy way, and then communicating how someone else may not be having a healthy part in it that you wish they would start to take on a healthy part in it, if that makes sense to you. So being solid and knowing where you may be going wrong or where you may need to adjust things, but also where maybe you don't need to be adjusting things. And that is a call for someone else to be adjusting their behavior instead. So maybe there's an unhealthy dynamic where, this is just a random example, I don't know, maybe in your family there's one family member that does a whole lot of stuff around the house, and then there's another family member who doesn't do anything, right? But then the person that's doing stuff all around the house, they suddenly They're like, wait a minute, what am I doing? And they stop. And then people get mad at them, right? Because they've been doing this so long, just doing it. Meanwhile, that person who hasn't been doing anything, they haven't really gotten much backlash for that, or nobody's really come up to them because they usually are reactionary and people don't want to deal with that, right? But the thing is when you pull back and you actually stop enabling things like that, you also start to see how you might have been picking up the slack for someone else and that it's unfair to you. Or vice versa, where you have been, maybe someone else is picking up the slack for you. And so it's an invitation for you to acknowledge where you may not be doing enough, or someone else may not be doing enough, or you're doing too much, or someone else is doing too much, and having that healthy communication and connection with people to figure it out, to acknowledge, hey, this isn't healthy for me, this isn't healthy for you, let's do something about it together, right? Not accusing someone of this or that. This could be different depending on dynamics. Maybe you're around people who genuinely are just like fully toxic people, but a lot of the case, in many cases, you may just be having understandings with people, like misunderstandings with people, because you need to communicate better and you need to set boundaries. And those things are a little difficult, right? But almost in this time, it's like you're finding, so we have stagnation and we have deceit, right? So it seems like right now you're like seeing through exactly what's going on, the illusionary patterns that have been created within a dynamic. You're seeing through it in order to get it out of this stagnant state so that things can move in a healthy direction. Things will not stay stuck in this loop of, oh, this person's doing this person's not doing that, I feel upset about it, blah, blah, everybody's blowing up. Like, finding the truth of it so that you can help. And it's not to enable people, it's to help yourself and other people naturally to have a healthier, a better chance at a healthier dynamic, or chance at all. Because if you don't do anything when you're seeing it, if you don't speak truth on something when you're seeing it, things may never change, right? And that's why communication between everybody is so important. And it doesn't matter what kind of relationship it is. It could be friendship. It could be, again, romantic relationship. It could be familial. It could be business. But communication, honesty, and boundaries need to happen despite any reaction. There are better ways to communicate things, but despite any reaction, the truth needs to be told. And in doing this, modest fortitude, that courage, right? And leadership. The more that you do this, the more you are setting an example for the people around you for how they should be treating themselves and other people. Because this is an interesting thing too. In a dynamic, when you are starting to speak up for yourself and your boundaries, it actually can help other people do the same thing. And it can also help other people, if they're willing, to take accountability for how they are pushing other people's boundaries, not respecting other people's boundaries. And it's actually interesting because usually when someone is pushing someone else's boundaries, or someone is pushing into your boundaries, like, right? Like either way, when either your boundaries are being pushed or you're pushing someone else's, it's unhealthy for both people, regardless. The dynamic itself is not healthy. And so when it's not healthy, it's going to perpetuate more unhealthy things. And both people are going to feel it, even if it's in different ways. That's why it is so important to communicate and set boundaries. But in doing this, in you doing this right now, setting the stage for that, and whatever dynamic it may be for yourself or around you, you are showing other people that it is possible, and it is also necessary and important for them to set their own boundaries and to honor other people's boundaries for the good of self and others. So that's really what I'm getting right now. It's a very interesting energy. I've noticed this in my own life about how I need to take more accountability for communicating with people, right? And then they need to take more accountability for communicating with me, vice versa, right? It's like you're seeing the reflection of what you're learning and what others are learning within each other. And it's kind of a call to really step into that and really get into the nitty gritty of it with confidence and patience so that you can help unstick the stuck in your life and in others around you. So that's really what I'm getting. I hope that this was helpful. Yeah. I hope you're well. If you're not, I hope you're well soon, and I will see you in the next video.